Okay, so let's get into the steps. I'll first tell you what the steps are in a sequence. We did put them in a sequence, although it's possible that you can work on these steps at different times, but there's a certain logic to the flow of these, and it's not one and done. These are steps that I think we have to go through multiple times in our life, and it starts with know yourself, and then love yourself, and be yourself. And then it's about choose yourself and express yourself. And finally, it's about complete yourself and heal yourself. So let's start with know yourself. This is a fundamental building block for human beings to live an authentic life, is to actually know who they are. Who am I, this unique being that has never existed before and will never exist again? There are 8 billion of us on the planet right now. There have been 117 billion of us since we became human beings. 109 billion who have lived and died, and 8 billion who are here now. And every one of us is different. Every one of us is a unique blend of qualities, of character traits, of values, of likes and dislikes and strengths and weaknesses and all kinds of things. We have different kinds of intelligence at which we excel and others that we don't have much of to begin with. There are theories, the theory of multiple intelligences talks about 8 intelligences. This is Howard Gardner. But there's another theory that says we might have as many as 168 kinds of intelligence. So again, knowing ourselves is a very important part of being able to live an authentic and meaningful life. So who am I? Beyond my identities, which have to do with my religion, my nationality, my profession, some of the demographics, socioeconomic status, etc. All of those are acquired things, and that's useful. But I'm talking about something deeper than that. Who am I at my core? What is my innate nature? And what are the values that matter more to me than anybody else? Many of which are kind of inborn. They came as part of who we were to begin with. So knowing yourself. In my case, my nature was very trusting, very idealistic, very peace-loving, etc. Those are some of the qualities that were evident in me at a young age. The second step after you really get to know yourself is to love yourself. Now, it is not automatic that if you know yourself, you're going to love yourself. In fact, I would say that a vast majority of people on this planet do not love themselves. Bruce Lipton estimates that 80 to 90% of us do not love ourselves. And so what does that mean? If you don't love yourself, it means that you are going to have a very difficult time receiving the love of somebody else. Because deep down you believe that you are not worthy of love, because you have this self-loathing towards yourself. So if you don't think you're worthy of your own love, you think that if somebody else claims to love you, that actually they just don't know you. And once they know you, they won't love you. So this can really isolate you, this lack of self-love, and also diminish your capacity to give love as well as to receive love. And what happens when you don't love yourself? Many things happen. One of them is that you don't take care of yourself. Many of us abuse our bodies, we abuse our minds, we do all kinds of things that we know are bad. I used to smoke when I was younger, right? I used to drink alcohol more than I should in the past. I don't anymore. But I did many things. I was at war with my lungs. I was at war with my liver by doing those things, right? I ate food that I knew was not good for me, too much sugar and all of those kinds of things. And that really stems from a lack of self-love to a degree. And so in my case, I did have that issue because I had certain qualities that were innate to me, but then my father came into my life when I was 7. He was away getting his PhD before that. And he saw everything that came naturally to me as a weakness. Those qualities, he wanted me to be the opposite of all of them. So I got that message very early on from a very important person, your father, that everything that comes naturally to me is a weakness. So I spent my several decades after that trying to be the opposite of who I was, fighting my own nature. And that's not a formula for happiness or success. So getting to a place of loving yourself, which means accepting yourself, which means recognizing that you are a gift to yourself and to the world. It means forgiving yourself. We are much harsher on ourselves than we are on other people. Having self-compassion, all of those are steps on the journey to ultimately self-love, being deeply grateful for who you are and the qualities that you have received, because you didn't make yourself, you received all of this in a way as a gift from creation. So we want to live with that gratitude for who we are. And then over time, you start to recognize that those are actually your strengths and your superpowers, those qualities. You're meant to lean into those and bring them into the world. So those are the first two: know yourself, love yourself. And then the third step is to be yourself. Once you are able to get to a place of self-acceptance and self-love, then your job is to actually lean into that and be the best version of that in the world. The world doesn't need another Michael Jordan or Albert Einstein. The world needs you to be who you are in the fullest, most realized expression of that. So being yourself, which means stop acting. Be the same person at work, at home, with your parents, with your children, with your spouse, with your friends. Many of us have these different personas, different masks that we wear in different aspects of our life. We need to shed that. It's much more comfortable, and it's quite exhausting actually to be constantly acting. We should not act, we should actually just be who we are. And that also requires us to rest comfortably in our presence, cultivating a state of presence so that we are comfortable in our skin and we can simply be. Just be yourself. So those are the first three steps. Know yourself, love yourself, and be yourself.